The fan base isn't as big as it was back in, like 2014, 2015. We kind of like caught lightning in a bottle for a little bit. Do I think like I could have got like as good? I think I would have been main eventing much quicker if I started now than I did back then. The competition was much better back then than it is now. It was much harder road. Um,
Well, it was the least I could do for people, because again, I listen to these interviews back, and God, I hate listening to myself. It's fucking torture. So anyways,
don't we all, pal? Don't we all?
Oh, you say that though, but like some of us have voices that don't sound like. What do I sound like? I sound like Lee Evans went through a blender sometimes, but never mind.
I just sound like Janice from Friends. So.
What? What?
We got a proper nasally voice, man.
I would never make that comparison.
No, not quite exactly, but like, like the same nasal quality to it.
Oh, okay. Janice from Friends. All right, cool. That's a mental image for me. But never mind. Right, so I interrupted you. I'm gonna just let you take it from there, as you were.
Okay, so yeah, obviously, again, this might be true, this might not be true, but like from my perspective, when I got like unbanned from Don't Flop, I felt like they were probably using me as a bit of like a gatekeeper. So like anyone that was kind of like up and coming and had like some really good performances, like they would battle me to see if they were kind of ready to battle the actual top tier and Don't Flop at that time. So for example, like my first battle back was first, and then it was Old English, and then it was Most Prob, and I had a lot of battles against people of that caliber who were actually like very good that I had to win, and it wasn't until I won like loads of them that I actually started being, oh, actually maybe he's better than just like a gatekeeper and we can actually give him a shot like at the championship. But like even if you just look at like those names that were kind of, and we're talking this was like the middle tier of Don't Flop, like they would be easily headlining now. Like if they were at the skill level that they were back then, now they'd be headlining cards. So it's difficult to express like the difference in difficulty. Like now you have one or two good performances, you're battling Tony D.
Interesting.
So like you can headline a lot quicker now than you could back then, but the ceiling that you can actually get to career-wise is a bit lower. It doesn't mean it will always be lower. Like it might go through another boom. Like you never know, you're one viral moment away from selling out Ministry again. So like it's not like, oh, battle rap's a write-off, it's done, thanks for coming, folks. It's just saying like where it is right now, the ceiling is lower than it was back then, but it's easier to reach where the ceiling is for sure in terms of like skill level. And that's kind of like shown because Tony D is fucking these guys up.
See, now I have to be careful because if I agree, I might end up interviewing some of them.
He's fucking them up. In my opinion,
I gave him
Tony
2-1.
is.
I gave him that. I don't disagree that he won that one, for instance.
Okay, all right. I thought he won all 3 rounds for me, but
really?
I mean, all right, yeah. But I mean, like,
okay. I'm going to argue with Soul about how to judge a fucking battle.
No, you're not. Listen, your opinion is as valid as mine. Like when it comes to judging, it's all preference. So like, but for me, when these guys take that step up in competition and they have to battle a Quill, or they have to battle like a Tony D or a Gemini, it's a very long day for them. Like when Visual battled Quill, Visual was like the up-and-comer guy. Quill fucked him up.
I was there for that.
Moat was like the up-and-comer guy.
It was a good
for
battle.
Me. Tony
for the
fucked him
time
up.
That he spent battling Visual, which was half the time. The rest of the time he was battling Shotty and everybody else behind him.
I mean, it's a performance though. Do you know what I mean? Like it was far better.
And it was a great performance, 100%. Couldn't agree more.
Exactly, yeah. And then even like Georgie Roots, who I actually think is like very talented, like he got that push super early, was headlining cards against like UK vets and losing. So that's what I'm saying. It's a much easier path to actually get to the top of the card, but you are much less prepared for the competition at the top of the card by the time you get there, because you haven't had to go through Murderer's Row to get there. And the ceiling's a bit lower in terms of where you can go career-wise. So lower ceiling, a lot easier to get to. Unfortunately, when you get there in a much more expedited fashion than we were, you're generally, for me anyway, underprepared for the level of competition that you'll meet when you get there.